Hello, this is Palico Padge and welcome back to another episode of Sunless Skies. We are in New Winchester. We have, well, off camera I have read all the bits of tutorial-y bits left to do. So there's only a few things we need to do before we need to crack on. Now, just to give you that, where is it? Here we go. So that reminder is we have taken on a fastidious inspector who wants to go to Port Prosper. We need to get back to London in order to drop off this black box. And other than that, that's about it. There's a few things northeast we need to go and explore, apparently, if we so choose. But other than that, we're looking pretty good. I mean, we've got the rumours. Captain Whitlock, we've done that bit. That's getting to London, or we can open up the box if we want to be really arsey about it. Opportunities to acquire trade goods. Those appear apparently at different ports, and then you can only sell them in bigger ports like this. So you got the small ports where you buy the stuff, the big ports where you sell them. The fastidious inspector we know about. Trading opportunity. There we go. Only the well-armed, the desperate, and the foolhardy travel the skies. As a result, there is money to be made transporting goods. Accept the prospect seat for Magdalene's at the Bazaar, accessible from the area list on the left, which we're going to do in a second. And then the Orpheum, which we've already done. So, before we go to the old shopsy and have a look around, let's explore the city a little bit, shall we? The smoggy, clanking, singing, stamping, thronging, frantic heart of the Reach. An ever-expanding port of soot, smudged glass, and bright steel, spilling across a drifting, mist-wrapped archipelago. Its factories thunder, its engine sheds ring with hammers and hiss with steam. Locomotives chug into sidings for repair, or flare across the sky and away into the high wilderness. So, visit the Promise of Days, a club where seasoned captains gather to trade stories and share advice with young skyfarers. This is where I went before, I think. Yes. Yeah, so we've done that bit. That's a bit I did off camera. As you can tell, it's a... Oh. Didn't mean to press that. If I do that. There we go. We'll start again. We'll ignore that. We'll cut it. So, the other thing to do is inquire about the Winchester War. How goes the war? The slow-burning war for the Reach forms the backdrop to daily life in New Winchester. Citizens wishing to keep up with developments in the war turn to the New Gazette. It is famously the only newspaper worth reading in New Winchester, as well as the only paper that hasn't bankrupted itself. Its quality speaks for itself. So here we can read about the progress of the war, check your reputation with the factions, and who currently controls the Reach. It was good to know. Let's read about the current political situation in the New Gazette, I suppose. The Assembly runs New Winchester from Victory Hall and seeks to strengthen its hand in the Reach. London's proxy, the Windward Company, however, maintain a considerable presence in the Reach. Although New Winchester is still neutral ground, tensions are mounting within and without the port. Alright, so it's anyone's game at the moment, that's good. Search the New Gazette for your name. Are they talking about you? What are they saying? Alright, why not? Let's have a look. Your name does not appear in any of the tacity-focused reporting on the war. Apparently you're not considered worthy of comment. Sounds fine by me. Always an unknown. There's no mention of you among the stories about the Stovepipe's recent fortunes. You are not of interest to them. Alright. Read about latest news. We can't do that because we've already done it. Alright. Perhaps not, I guess. So, we're not worried about investigating the black box. I'm going to take it to London because I am a loyal first mate. We repaired the locomotive. Ambition, wealth. But it's not enough to be rich. One must be seen to be truly, lavishly, importunously rich or wealthy. In order to retire in the manner to which you wish to become accustomed, you require two things: suitable property and the admiration or envy of your peers. These are the best security that money can buy. The fortress, like Governor's Manor, towers above New Winchester. It has sat empty since the blockade. Okay. 5,000 sovereigns, and we currently have 169. Perhaps not then. Perhaps not. So I guess all that there's left to do is to have a quick look-see in the shops. Let's go to the bazaar. Locomotive captains gather at the bazaar to trade goods and information. Here you can acquire prospects, opportunities to sell a good at a distant port for an excellent price. Accept a prospect to claim it, source the goods and deliver them. Okay. Seed for Magdalene's. Magdalene's provides comfort and sympathy to the weary skyfarer. Its host will tell you any lie you need to hear. Some of those lies require flowers. The amiable host wants up to 3 sacks of verdant seeds and will pay 80 sovereigns for each. Magdalene's lies to the north-northwest of New Winchester. I mean, why not? Claimed! So, north-northwest. Seeds for Port Avon. Attention! The annual allotment competition looms on Port Avon. Up to 3 sacks of verdant seeds required urgently. Delivered to the vicar at Nowhere Inn as soon as possible, if not before. Port Avon lies to the east of New. Claimed. And that be that for the time being. Oh, done it again. And then Bazaar. Abraham's Engineering. Oh, look at the lovely stuff you sell. So we have the Cotterell and Hafizard Jerusalem, which was 100. So the next thing up is 500. Cozy cabins. With extra fold down bunks and some careful shift scheduling, you can squeeze a few more in. So we can take +4. But we need 25 veils for that. Fielding. Mining. Okay, fair enough. More guns. Cargo. Rockets. And 500 for a new engine. Okie dokie. Don't think I've got much I can sell right now. I have nothing. Yeah, I'm not going to sell them. Okay, so where else do we have? Victoria Market. Ah, so here is where we grow our fuel and supplies. Now, the thing is, I don't know how quickly fuel and supplies get used up, so I suppose it's better to take more than less right now. So that being said, I mean, back in Sunless Sea, fuel burnt quicker than supplies. So we got 2. I'll take you some 6. I mean, let's go all for fuel, I suppose. Supplies at 4. I'm sure we'll find somewhere before we run out of supplies. And if not, we'll just eat people. That's how this game works, right? Cool. Right. So, and the engine yard, we'll just have a quick look, see. Oh, ooh, these are nice trains. Notorious graveyard for unwanted, unloved, or blasted out of the sky engines. Occasionally there are gems among the scrap. If your locomotive is damaged, its sale value will be reduced to cover the repairs. 1,500 for the class Corsa. Trader there, 3.5. Escort for 3.5. Or a liner. Ooh, it's gold and everything. Again, I presume as you travel about, there'll be other options other than these, but good to note. Good to note. Right, so before we go anywhere, we want to go north. Well, we want to go west, and then we want to go northeast. So up here somewhere, and over here somewhere. I suppose. Was that the west one? Northwest. And east. Northwest and east. Did I get what completely wrong then? So I'm going to go this way or up here. You know what? We are going to go northwest because we haven't been in that direction yet. And that seems pretty interesting. Pretty then possibly deadly. That's fine. That's what this game is all about. This is a little bit scary, if I was going to be completely honest with you. What are you? Where be you? Victory Hall. I'll say hello. The Assembly, a coalition of independent-minded settlers, colloquially, big word, called Tacites, gather and argue here. Deliver port reports here to receive rewards and win the Tacites' favour. Visit Victory Hall. Raised in the wake of the blockade near New Winchester, this magnificence of glass and steel houses the Colonial Assembly. Here, representatives of the independent port of the Reach gather and quarrel. Take a look around. The Tacites, those settlers who want independence from London, may have worked for a Skyfarer. Okay, we'll say hello. Today, the chambers of Victory Hall echo with shouting. The assembly is in session, and outraged roars descend from the boardroom to the palatial lobby. A discreet functionary escorts you from the premises before you hear anything too juicy. You're a captain, aren't you? She inquires. Once you're safely outside. If you want to be of service, bring us news from other ports. The Windward Company have spies everywhere, and we need recent accurate information of our own. As you visit ports, you may obtain port reports. Turn them in at Victory Hall or Company House to receive reward. Okay, so any shops here? No. We've been to Victory Hall. Okay. Onwards then. And that's it. Short and, well, not too sweet, but never mind. I presume this is a bridge. I'm not going to crash into something. Okay. Oh, what be you? What be you? Ah, and Company House. Are you any nicer? Because those other ones, they weren't too nice. Very rude. The local headquarters of the Windward Company, London's proxy in the Reach. Deliver port reports here to receive more rewards and win the company's favour. Visit the Windward Company, why not? Following the uprising, the fortunes of the Windward Company fell in New Winchester. Now their modest offices occupy an ex-tinning factory in the murky recesses of town. It continues to smell faintly of beans. Take a look around. The Windward Company, who represent London's interests in the Reach, may have worked for a Skyfarer, and that is the frantic work of the company. The offices are cramped. Typewriters ring, assistants scurry between desks. Beleaguered managers struggle to make themselves heard over the hubbub. Eventually, a harried assistant makes you a cup of tea. Lovely! First drink. Didn't even have to ask. I'm afraid everyone's busy today, but if you want to make yourself useful, we always need up-to-date reports on events beyond New Winchester. Bring them straight here, though. Not to... He nods out of the window towards Victory Hall, where the Colonial Assembly gathers. That lot. Queen and country and all that, eh? Okay, well, I think as we're remaining loyal in this playthrough, this first playthrough, we'll probably stick with the Windward. And I presume there's nothing else here. Yet. Okay, let's crack on. Let me out. Time to have a moochie. Oh. Who be you? Are you a friend or are you a foe? Oh, there's a few out here. Are we friends? Dackety Scout? Are we friends? I think we're friends at the moment. That's fine. Have a look around. Oh, there's something that way. So we found Reekstead. Which essentially... a lighthouse. Which is fine by me. Absolutely fine. And this doesn't look like it's going to be a dead end either. You know what? For the sake of heading northeast, to complete a few things. Oh, we just froze there. A glitch in the matrix. We might as well carry on heading this direction. Anything of note? Go this way. There's a little bit of a tree sticking out. Can I hit it? No. These are the borders of the Queen's March. First step in the long journey to Albion. Oh! That's all rather lit up and looking lovely. Emits its own light. That's cool. Don't want to crash into it. Ho, 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 ho. Carry on up ahead, I guess. Havenwood. Another lighthouse. Who are you? Are you a friend? Reach Marauder. No, you're not a friend. Oh, I just zapped the wrong way. Run, 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 run. Yeah, yeah, I don't need the heat advice. I know what's going on. Haha! Oh! Take two! And I'm just going to move around a bit. Oh, he's on fire! He's on fire! Oh! Hey! You have learned from your experiences. You can learn more experiences while defeating enemies, discovering landmarks, and completing prospects and stories. Yeah, we know my heat bar is full. We learned that bit. Hide device. The fastidious inspector approaches you in the galley. Captain, good day. I noticed your ship's clock had stopped. Perhaps you permit me to repair it. He has a little case of tools and a hopeful expression. Yeah, why not? You prefer things to be right more than twice a day. Gives a grateful flick of a smile and sets to work. Soon she has the back of the clock and has spread tiny clocks across the galley table. Obscure horological tools gleam brassily among them. Everything has a place. I appreciate the opportunity to keep myself busy. Staring too long at the stars is harmful to the temperament. Okay, I mean, cool. It was broken anyway. The fastidious inspector has a round face, brown eyes, and short dark hair. She gives the impression of being perpetually busy. What are the duties of an agent of the horological office? I guess we could ask. He sniffs. It is of fundamental importance that 10 o'clock on the 2nd of June in one corner of the Empire occurs at the same time as 10 o'clock on the 2nd of June in the opposite corner. How is an Empire to function if you can't agree what day it is? Unfortunately, the process is complicated by the fact that time is less reliable than it was. The hours trade has seen. Okay. Let's ask about the hours trade then. You've heard the Empress awards her favourites with gifts of years to extend their lives, and that you can become rich mining for hours to satisfy London's hunger for them. Oh, hours have more uses than that. We use them to increase the efficiency of work worlds, to speed journeys to distant regions, to resolve overcrowding in prisons. It does make my life more difficult when time knots and stretches like wool on the loom. More difficult but more vital. Her Majesty seized a great trove of them, and when she assumed the throne of hours, and now even more have been found in the reach. Miners dig them from the ground. She looks momentarily wistful. I hope some day to retire with a modest pension of years myself to prolong the better part of my retirement. Can't fault you for that. Let's discuss the reach. I don't want to mention the war. Don't mention the war! But we're just going to have to just see what it says before we get to that point. The wild frontier, or the wide wild frontier, a sunless domain but impossibly verdant, with gargantuan vines, cathedral-sized bronze woods, and livid fungal archipelagos. It has an uncouth splendour, but I miss Albion, and the steady light of the clockwork sun. These sunless reaches are so misty and quiet. She pauses. But critical. The territories here are rich with raw hours, and enough vegetation grows on them to feed the whole of London, even if some of it is a dubious shape. Oh, don't question the shapes. Let's discuss the suns. What happened to the Reach's sun? And London has a man-made sun. How did Her Majesty defeat the old one? We warred and we won. It's not my area of expertise, I'm afraid. The suns made the law, they say. Now Her Majesty makes it. As for the Reach's sun, he looks through the window at the lightless, stirring mist. I don't know. Do suns grow old? Do they die of natural causes? I think that would probably be better than the alternative, wouldn't it? Let's compliment her. Her hands are deft and sure. She polishes. She means that she reassembles. Thank you, she says, a small embarrassed silence. It's possible the inspector is pleased. It's rather hard to tell. So let's got the war. There are those who feel that London is a long way away and that they do better job of governing themselves. The frontier attracts independent spirits. We call them tacketies, but the hobnail boots that are so practical out here. London unsurprisingly disagrees. The Windward Company earnestly represents Her Majesty's interests in the region, sometimes very earnestly indeed. The tacketies call London's lawtist stovepipes for our hats, I suppose. You're always looking at you. Are you, Captain? Where do your sympathies lie? With London, with the tacketies, or you feel no loyalty to either side. For London, you remember your heritage and the Queen who led you to the skies. Glad to hear it, she says. So, I think we are done here. Bid her a good evening. You've got work to do, and so does she. And to you, Captain, I think I shall make a cup of tea. Oh, nice. What you got? You prepare to board the buckled wreckage poised to plunder the plunderers. Behind you, someone is humming a song of victory. Let's see what you got. The crew of the Marauder lie dead in the corridor, killed not by your guns but knives and small arms fire. The only survivor is the captain, locked in the brig with a bottle of brandy. Chalk eyes stare back from every wall. When he ran out of chalk, he began scraping them in with his fingernails. Little remains of them but blooded stumps. Seen this before, Captain, says the crew member, grasping your arm. Sky madness. Magdalenes can treat it if you can be bothered to take the poor sod. Bring the poor bellow on board. The high wilderness is cruel. This could easily be you one day. Or put him out of his misery. This will begin a short quest. You know what? I'm up for short quests. Let's do it. The crew wrap the sky-maddened captain in blankets and secure them tightly with belts. It takes 4 to transport him safely to your locomotive. He might not be happy restrained, but it should keep him from harm until you get him to Magdalene's. Magdalene's lies to the north-northwest of New Winchester. The captain's secured. You have a moment to see whether there's anything of worth on his locomotive before abandoning it to the wilderness. So we have a tale of terror, which is cool. One thing I recognise from the old game. We've got the sky-maddened captain. And he is on board. Oh, prepare the board. The buckled wreckage, poised to plunder the plunderers. Is there anything there? An intriguingly bulging sack. What could it be? How pleasingly it rattles. Newly minted calls fall with a heavy thud from the upended sack. Bright imperial sovereigns, her renewed majesty's many faces glare up at you. 44. I will take that. I will take that. We need north. I mean, where are we? Northwest. So, essentially, sort of over here, somewhere, where we need to go. You know what? We got 2 ports of call for there, so we might as well head in this direction and see what's going on. I mean, it'd be a good place to finish up this episode, I think. Hopefully, we're not going to run into anything too much. What's going on here? Facets to take. Oh. Azalea, you explored. We get to take a facet. Take a facet then, I guess. What did the Winds of Fate hold in store? An interlude in red and gold. You lost... Oh, okay, you get to choose. So... Oh, so there is a little bit of a toss-up about what you're going to get. But ultimately, that is a mirrors one. Then I guess the others will be different as well. So, an interlude in red and gold. You lost your mind once. They put you in a splendid hotel managed by a cheery gentleman who would determine when you could leave. Or we have, worse things happen at Z. The sea does not forgive. It did not forgive you. So we can either have hearts, mirrors, and 4 otherworldly artifacts, or hearts, iron, and 1 moment of inspiration. Currently our hearts is 19. I mean, you could argue we're going to need mirrors or veils. So, what are you? You came scarred. You came close that day to death. It left its marks. That's an iron thing. Iron's all right at the moment. A spell in prison. The judge, stony-faced, condemned you to New Newgate, the stalactite prison of Old London. That's veils and hearts or iron. So there's a chance there. That was mirrors, wasn't it? Or a scandal. You were the gossip of London saloons or salons and the target of blistering editorials in the Gazette. Mad, they said. Bad, they said. Dangerous to know. Hearts and veils or hearts and mirrors. So we can go for veils and hearts or veils and iron. Or mirrors and iron, mirrors and veils. I think it's going to have to be an interlude in red and gold. Just for the sake of maybe getting some veils as well. You lost your mind once. They put you in a splendid hotel managed by a cheery gentleman. We read that bit. How colourful the other guests were. How red the curtains. How gold the fittings. How secure the locks. Eventually you were allowed to leave, but was your recovery genuine? So, yes, you're feeling much better, thank you. Through trial and error and determination, you learned to tell what is from what is not. The manager said he was sad to see you go. Or no, you just learned to lie. You said what you had to, and they sent you home. Even now, your world is red and gold and splendid. You know what? That is lovely. That is absolutely lovely. I like that my world is red and gold and splendid. So we'll go with that. And we get a comedian, and we're probably a little bit mad. But that's fine. We won't look into that too deep. Good to know. I mean, Everyone's got to be a little bit crazy to get on around here, don't they? So we are in a dead end here. We'll loop about. We're low on supplies. Thanks! Start eating people before we know it. Bit more experience for this, please. Ding-a-ding-a-ding. Barcella's Folly. I'm trying to be in north-north. Is it north-northwest? I'm questioning what I've seen now. Yeah, north-northwest. Carry on. For you. Can I get to you? The jitter. The detritus of yet another skirmish in Winchester War. The wreck gleams with frost. Its windows are dark, its engines silent. Perhaps something of value lies within. So we can mourn the dead. Signal the wreck. The windows of the crew quarters are occluded with frost. But was that movement you saw? 30% chance of success. Or leave the wreck untouched. Go big or go home. Hey! Your signaller fetches their signal lamp and flashes a patient message into each portside window. There, a faltering globe burns in the frost. Someone has struck a match. You dispatch a boarding party. They retrieve a survivor who's too weak to work, but will share their hoarded supplies with you. Thank God for that. Cool. Right, so where are we? I'm going to go a little bit downwards, just to make sure that this isn't hidden around here somewhere. Because no, my luck, it would be. And as soon as we've covered this little bit here. Almost there. Oh, what are you? Oh, lordy. Oh, took our first bit of damage. Aha! But we got him. We got him. Not a lot left of him, mind. You prepared to board the buckled wreckage, poised to plunder the plunderers. Behind you is someone humming a song of victory. I'm guessing that's the same each time, so I'm not going to say that anymore. So, oh. So we can strip the engine for materials, let them all to find a better use in death than it had in life. Gain hull. I'm not damaged, so we'll loot instead. What could it be? A faintly luminescent cage. A light burns from within. The things being transported in this cage did not survive the journey, though they still glow faintly. You now have 2 uncanny spectres. Alright. And again, for the sake of just making doubly sure there's nothing down here, the clamour of New Winchester can be heard on the wind. Familiar, the disagreeable uncle. Oh, we've done this bit. So, we've got to go up north. Let's go have a look, see? Yep, through here we go. Okay, this has suddenly gotten very large. The peacock wing delivers its bounty. The supplies burst into new sickly sweet growth. But some of them also wail as they go into the pot. Don't like this wind. Oh, didn't mean to do that either. Perkins Copse. Your bridge windows fog with recent steam trails. This place is well frequented. Ooh. Oh. Who are you? Are we friends? Oh, maybe not. Faculty Scout and someone else. You know what? You carry on there. I'm going to loot this. Food. I mean, I presume with all these things going on. Oh. Who are you? Enduring Dreadnought? You know what? He's not starting on me, so I'm not going to start on him. Don't worry about me. Nothing to see here. Right, there we are. It's over there. Let's go. I mean, I feel half obliged to just hang about and just pick up whoever gets blown up. Magdalene's a place of peace. Could have fooled me. Contemplation and rest. The driver twitches miserably. Hey, hey, hey! You're approaching a newly discovered port. This has significantly reduced your terror. Your crew are always thankful to find another place of relative safety in the skies, however strange or full of devils or covered in mushrooms. Awesome. And that is where we're going to leave this episode. So next time around, we'll have a bit of a mooch about Magdalene's. We've got a few things we can hand in here and generally just get a lay of the land before hopefully going back out there and claiming some of those blown up ships, which they're not going to last too long against a Dreadnought, because let's face it, whenever I played Sunless Sea, I never lasted too long against Dreadnought. But for now, thank you for watching. A like is always appreciated, and I shall catch you on the next one. Take it easy.